Hi, Kevin Leonard Parker here. I just wanted to share with you my video audit for your website. So I've taken a look at your website. Very good start. I'm not sure how long the website has been live, but I've had a chance to read through your content, and I have several recommendations that I think will really help build your overall web presence and better position you to get more prospective clients and leads through your website and other online properties. So as you can see, I'm here on your homepage. Let's start there. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to, if you look here in the address bar, I'm using the Google Chrome browser. You can see here, there's this big message that says not secure. And if you click down on it, it says your connection to the site is not secure. You should not enter any sensitive information on this site, for example, passwords or credit cards, because it could be stolen by attackers. Now, I've looked at your website. It doesn't look like you're asking people for information. However, this is still very good SEO practice to fix this. And this is very easy to fix. All you would do is install what's called an Ssl Certificate. And this is something that you purchase through your hosting provider, your web hosting provider. And it usually takes, if depending on your provider, it can take about 30 minutes to a few days. So it just depends. But this is a major SEO signal. Google and the other search engines, obviously, they have a stake in making sure that their users are safe when they're browsing the web. And even if your website is completely safe, it is vulnerable to attack because you don't have that SSL installed. So that's, if we're thinking about a priority list here, I would put that at the top because it is very easy to fix, but it can have a great impact on your rankings. And since you are more of a relationship-based business, you don't want the first thing someone sees when they come to your website is not secure, right? So I would start there. Now, while we're on your homepage, and this really applies to every page on your site, I would like you to better utilize this white space here. At a minimum, you should include your 888 number, your 800 number, here in the white space. That way, someone who doesn't have time to really read through all of your content, but they know they want to at least chat with you to see if it would be a good fit. Maybe there's one article or two that really sparked their interest. They'll easily be able to call you. And one way we can even enhance that, we can use what's called a call tracking number. And basically that number would forward directly to your office line. And the benefit of that is that you would know exactly where that call came from, whether it's organic, someone found you through Google. If someone found you through your LinkedIn, you would have a different number. If someone found you through if you ever were to run ads in the future, paid ads, that's one benefit of call tracking. So, but whatever the case, at a minimum, add some contact information up here, so someone doesn't have to go all the way to your contact page to find it. That's called conversion optimization. And while you're at it, I would go ahead and add your contact info here in the footer. You want to make that information as easy to find as possible. And I'm going to be back and forth with this list here of different things I saw. So the next thing while we're on your site, I thought that it was a bit thin on content. So I see you have very good pages on different areas of your investment process. You also have very good pages about your investment products. But since you're not targeting a specific geographic area, basically you're competing against folks with other firms all across the country, you really have to make the investment into great content. And you definitely were off to a great start with the marketing materials. I really would like to see that white paper section populated as soon as possible. But what I recommend is some type of blog. And basically, what you want to do with that blog, you want to answer questions that people are having currently. So, for example, what news stories are out there about ETFs and CEFs, and how would they affect your target client? and you basically want to write an art blog article on that topic. And pretty much you want to make that a reoccurring task. So, I recommend at a minimum once per month. But if for whatever reason you are unable to write that frequently, I would, or if you are able to write more frequently, I should say, I would do once per week. And really, the way to think about content, the more content you put out there on the web, that gives your prospective clients more opportunities to find you, because most likely they're going to be doing their research first. They're really going to be focused on education. And if you have good content, you've already started building that relationship with them. And I would do that through your blog, and I would continue to build your library here. I think that's a very good idea to have like a library to hold educational information. While we're talking about content, I really would like you to beef up your page. So again, this is a very good start. But our ETFs, I think there are several questions, or even more specific questions that you can answer. And the way to think about this, if we just did a quick search for ETFs, I'm going to show you my search screen here. So obviously it comes up with exchange traded fund. But there's one part I want you to really pay attention to. So when people are searching on Google for ETFs or exchange traded funds, these are the questions, the common questions that they're asking. And you may not want to answer all of these. They might not be relevant to your target market. You might not want to answer yes or no if are ETFs a good investment. Typically, it depends on a person's situation. But you want to make sure that you do address those that are relevant in your content. And since you already have an FAQ page, you want to make sure you beef up that FAQ page with content that has these types of questions. And this is just a small list. There's a website I use called answerthepublic.com. And basically, you can go in there, you can type a simple search phrase. So in this case, I would type ETFs or exchange traded funds. And what that tool does is pull questions all over the web. So not only Google, but it pulls questions from social media, Yahoo Answers, Quora, really the list goes on. I'm not even sure all of the websites that are in their database, but it's pretty much going to be an extensive list of questions that people are asking about a particular topic. And again, all of those won't be relevant. There will be much redundancy there. But the key here is that you want to make sure that you're addressing those questions, either through your FAQ page or somewhere else on your website. And if you haven't noticed by now, I'm really big on content. When you hear about Google penalties and websites getting penalized, it's because they're using shortcut strategies. Whereas with content, that's really what these search engines were built on, helping users find the best content that addresses their problem or their search query. And when you build out that good content, you do just that. Now, let's see what else here. I'm going to go back to my list here. And so two more things I saw while I was on your website. So I actually ran a report of what's called on-site optimization for your website. I found that there were 228 issues found. And I'm going to pull that up. And we can go more in detail about this over the call. But there are a lot of different things. So you see this little box that pops up here, FAQ. You want to make sure that's more optimized for your target keywords and with your firm's name. Your meta descriptions. So your meta descriptions are simply this little snippet of text here. So you always want to make sure that that's very well optimized, and you should almost think about it as a billboard for your website. So if someone, they have all these different things to look at on a search results page, what can you put there to make them more likely to click on your website? That's how you should think about the meta description. And there are other things that you can't necessarily see on the front and those are related to your images. Also, there's something called schema. I ran a test on your website. There's no schema code installed, and schema code, it's a type of programming code that you add to your website, and it basically gives the search engines more information about your business. So not only does it tell them that you're a website, it tells them that you're a financial services business. It tells them where you're located, if that's applicable. It tells them more about you and your history. I read through your bio, so you have a very rich history of working in financial services. That's all information you can put in the schema code. And the way this works is that, let's say there's a website and you're going against the same search phrase. So let's say you're going for ETFs. And of course, you want to rank ahead of this website. So if this website has schema code installed and yours doesn't, then that means it's going to have that much more benefit, or I should say a chance of ranking ahead of you. In SEO, it's all about these little small things, doing them right and doing them right over time. And that's how you will increase your ranking, increase your organic visibility. So it'll be easier for people to find you on Google and the other search engines. Now, so that pretty much covers everything about your website. One last thing I want to, I kind of touched on conversion optimization before, but I look at some other things. I really think you should have some type of way to collect information here on your homepage. At the very least, name, email, and phone number. Because you don't want people to have to kind of go find this on a contact page. Make it as easy as possible for people. And this is the number I mentioned that you should definitely include in your header here, just to make it easier for your site users. So now that we're finished with the website, I'll kind of go back to the content marketing part. So not only do you want to really beef up the content on your website, but you also want to blog on other websites. So if there are other websites out there that cater to your target audience, but they, maybe they're not a direct competitor, they offer complementary services, or, maybe, I'm not sure what that would be. We haven't talked yet, but you want to make sure that you're expanding your presence by borrowing other people's audiences who may have a larger audience than you do at the moment. And the way you do that is providing blog content. So you're probably seeing this on Forbes, really almost any news website or financial website. You're going to see where there's a guest author, they write up a good article. And that's just a way to expand their brand and to get more people to know about them. And I suggest the same for you. So that's one thing I would start away from your website. The other thing, and really has me concerned. So when I Googled your firm name, select alternative investments, I'm not sure if you can see this, but I'm going to zoom in here a bit. But the first result that comes up is actually something related to Cialis. And it's really weird because it has the same URL, selectalts.com, as your website. So at first I thought maybe your site had been hacked, but then when I go to your URL, it does go to your website. So the difference is that if I put in this / after your website, so I'll show you here, it'll go directly to your website. Now, if I click this directly, it's the exact same, selectalts.com. What's up here? This might take some time, so I'll go ahead and pause until the page is loaded. So I'm not sure what's going on there, Kevin. That's something we can go over during the call. Oh, there it goes. It finally loaded. Let's see. Yeah, so not sure why it's taking so long to load, but there it goes. So you can see here, selectalts.com, and it's actually an online pharmacy. So I thought that was really, really weird, but definitely something we want to be on top of. So really the way you're going to do this, because obviously if someone types in selective or select alternative investments, you don't want this website to come up. So what you want to do is create different branded profiles out there on very high authority websites to kind of push this website down. You want this, you at least want to push this website to page 2. And that might be challenging because this looks like a very extensive website and it looks like a legitimate website. So, definitely that would be one of my priorities if we were to work together. I do offer different packages, starting from my first package starts at $150 one-time fee, and that goes all the way up to a $1,500 recurring monthly fee, which is a full service offering. So we can discuss more about that on the call, but the purpose of this video is just I wanted to share with you before our meeting some of the things I'm seeing on your website, and if you have any questions, you'll definitely, you can think about them before our call today. Thank you for watching the video. Hope it's been helpful, and I'll talk to you in a few hours. Take care.